Today, Caulifla faces off against Piccolo in the Room of Spirit and Time, and in the background, Kaba gives Vegeta some bad news.
Prepare yourself, Dan Saiyan.
Subscribe and hit the notification bell to help us achieve the 300k mortal plan. Every soul counts. Previously in Goku Trains Caulifla, Goku finally takes Caulifla to the hyperbolic time chamber, or the Room of Spirit and Time, whichever way you guys would like to call it, and he brings her there because this is the only viable way that Caulifla can learn Super Saiyan 3, basically without dying and going to King Kai's planet to train under the master himself. But Caulifla needs someone to train against, somebody who has experience training up Saiyan prodigies. And now that she's donning Goku's signature gi, it's time for her to face off against one of Goku's original villains, and that is Piccolo, because today Piccolo is going to face off against Caulifla and see exactly how strong the Saiyan actually is.
Sorry about Gohan, by the way. When you get back to Otherworld, please tell him how proud I am of him.
Sure thing. If I know my son, what he'll regret most about losing Taboo is not being able to see you anymore. You know, Gohan always looked up to you. Thought the world of you.
Piccolo begins to stretch right before he's about to face off against Caulifla, even saying as much, saying that he needs to stretch a little bit before the rumble begins. And Caulifla throws a little bit of shade and says that it's good that he ended up throwing away the body armor, because now his power has gone up by a good margin and he's actually a challenge for her. And as they both begin to power up, Goku asks Kaba, in his point of view, how much of a difference in power does Caulifla have against Piccolo? Now, a lot of people have done versus matches with Piccolo and have power scaled him to a really high degree, and I would like to be one of those that condones this sort of behavior, because I like Piccolo a lot. I think that he has done training for the majority of Dragon Ball. He's never fallen off, and he has been the GOAT. Really underrated, and I'm glad that he got some shine in Dragon Ball Super's Tournament of Power. But is he a match against Caulifla? From the onset, I do believe that Piccolo is more than a match for a Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla, because I believe that he is stronger than a Super Saiyan 2 at this point, or at least on that same wavelength. Plus, he's got a lot more hacks and abilities that Caulifla is just not ready for, unless she ended up training against the Namekian counterparts in Universe 6. Kaba says that it is hard to tell because both of them are suppressing a lot of their ki, but if we had to go through a scaling system between 1 to 10, Kale finishes the thought for him and says that Caulifla is going to be a 10 and Piccolo is going to be a 7, which of course Kale is going to be ride or die for Caulifla. You guys have seen enough of the Dragon Ball fan mangas and stories that I've covered that have them being extremely close. So of course she's going to back herself some Caulifla. But is this accurate? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think that Caulifla is that much more powerful than a Dragon Ball Super Piccolo? Let me know, guys. Vegeta then asks, with their points of view, how much of a difference in power does Caulifla have in comparison to both Goku and Vegeta, obviously separated because if they're both together then that doesn't really make a fair fight, but he's talking more in a sense of power. And Kaba says in reality it is completely immeasurable how far Caulifla is from Goku and Vegeta, which absolutely makes sense. But at the same time, are Goku and Vegeta that much more powerful than Piccolo, like to that extent? I think that they are extremely powerful and far more powerful than Piccolo, but not like, I don't think immeasurable. I think that Piccolo still has a few tricks up his sleeve, and I'm hoping that in Dragon Ball Super he gets a brand new form or something, because he needs to be able to contend with the Saiyans at this point, and I hope that he absolutely does. Vegeta then gives his own headcanon as to what these powers are going to be between Caulifla and Piccolo, and he says that his opinion is that Caulifla's at a 9 and Piccolo's at a 7 in power. But the huge variant here is that a Saiyan and Namekian are extremely different. While Namekians are more durable, Saiyans are more powerful. So Namekians have, again, like I said earlier, a lot more tricks up their sleeves that Caulifla may not be ready for. Kaba explains to Vegeta then that Caulifla should have the utmost advantage in this battle because of her raw strength and power, plus the fact that she is very versatile in her abilities. She is a warrior, a very cunning warrior at that. But Vegeta responds that that's not it. Vegeta says that there isn't really a huge difference in power between Caulifla and Piccolo, even if you put numbers attributed to their power. It's not like the difference between Caulifla and Goku and Vegeta. It's far closer. So if Piccolo makes some good moves and Caulifla makes some missteps, then Piccolo will absolutely win this match. Just so you guys don't think I'm ignoring this, I can see that they're fighting in the background and they're sparring, and just from looks alone it does seem that Caulifla's having a little bit of trouble with Piccolo. Even though she's smiling, her face tells it all, but Piccolo seems like he's actually going pretty serious right now without powering up. Vegeta is certain that Piccolo is going to fill the gap. He is going to close in the power difference between Caulifla and himself, but Kaba isn't so sure that he can, because the difference, even though Vegeta says it's not that big, it's not that small either. And Kaba sees the same thing that I see. He says you can just see it, which is true. I just explained it. Caulifla looks like she's having an easier time and taking it less seriously than Piccolo is. But that is when Piccolo turns it up a notch and powers up, and Caulifla says it is about time. But Piccolo wants to get down to brass tacks. He wants to know the clear rules of winning, as opposed to the last match he just witnessed, where there really weren't any clear rules and everybody was doing whatever the hell they wanted to do. In this one, he wants to have a clear motive. So if you faint or surrender, then that is a loss. And he wants to add, even if you get pressed on the ground for 5 seconds and cannot get back up, then that is also a loss. Very similar to wrestling rules. Which I do like that Piccolo is smart enough to add this stuff in here, because I don't think he really wants to go to, like, you know, passing out or anything like that to figure out a winner. If the fight is going a good way, then Piccolo could easily pin Caulifla, but he doesn't really want to kind of beat the shit out of each other and have that be the deciding factor. And as a true Saiyan, Caulifla's like, the pinning rule seems a little silly. And Piccolo explains himself. If there isn't a way to settle the fight quickly, then the fight will go on forever. And that's not something that Piccolo is ready for, honestly. So it looks like Piccolo may have a stamina disadvantage, and he's trying to fill that up with his rule. That's what I'm thinking, that he thinks that Caulifla has way more stamina than he does. And he believes that Caulifla is thinking the exact same thing, but he says that he's just putting that rule there just to have it. But trust me, he's gonna go all out and show her exactly what a Namekian from Universe 7 can do, because he is intent on winning the fight through brute force and technique. Relieved, Caulifla says good, because she is ready to beat his green behind and put him into the metaphorical dirt of the hyperbolic time chamber. And that is where we leave off today, on a huge cliffhanger, because the match is about to gear up and hightail it into high gear next manga chapter, which you guys can always find on this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. The winner of today's hashtag end of video squad, the soul that decided to stay till the very end of my previous video and drop hashtag end of video squad on their comment, is going to be Bildagetten Armanzi. In Goku's mind, I gave Frieza a second chance, but he stabbed me in the back. But this guy isn't Frieza. Maybe he'll change. Bro, Goku asked Moro to go back to jail when he first met him, and he did not. Moro attacked Goku and wanted to kill him after getting the senzu bean, and then Goku asked again if he would give up. Goku is being written extremely badly in the Dragon Ball Super manga because he is extremely stagnant and basically becoming a parody of himself because he is not learning his lessons. He is too kind-hearted, and if he does not want to destroy Moro, he could have at least have him in a weaker state and then forcibly put the cuffs on him, or have Boo use some sort of trapping ability from the Kai, or even use Mafaba against him to bring him back to jail. There were so many different options that didn't involve giving him a senzu bean, and that is the reason that most people are upset with the Dragon Ball Super manga chapter. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. This is going to be Blackscape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content.